When people talk about American civic folklore, they often imagine stories about founding fathers or tall tale heroes like Paul Bunyan. But America's identity is shaped just as deeply by those stories carried here through migration, survival, and cultural memory. One of the most enduring of these is La Llorona, the Weeping Woman, whose cries echo across generations of Mexican and Latino communities throughout the United States. Today we're exploring how La Llorona shapes the ideas of belonging in America, which parts of her story are fictional, and how her tales blur the line between myth and folklore. La Llorona is a figure from Mexican folklore, often described as the ghost of a woman who drowned her children and now wanders riversides crying, "Ay, mijillos," "Oh, my children." Her story has countless variations, but the core theme remains: a tragic woman trapped between worlds, mourning what she has lost. So how does the story shape modern ideas of what it means to be American? First, La Llorona reflects the lived experience of Mexican-American communities. People whose identities are shaped by borders, migration, and cultural blending. Her story traveled north with families who crossed into the U.S., becoming part of the cultural fabric of the Southwest, California, Texas, and beyond. La Llorona embodies themes central to American identity: belonging and exclusion. She's a figure caught between worlds, life and death, past and present, Mexico and the U.S. This mirrors experiences of many immigrants navigating multiple identities. Cultural survival. Sharing her story helps preserve language, memory, and traditions across generations. Moral storytelling. Like many American civic stories, La Llorona teaches lessons about responsibility, danger, and community boundaries. In this way, La Llorona becomes a part of American civic folklore, not because she is patriotic, but because she expresses the realities of communities that are undeniably American. La Llorona's story is rooted in oral tradition, so it naturally contains fictional and supernatural elements. These include the ghostly apparition. There's no historical evidence of a woman who drowned her children and returned as a spirit. Her supernatural powers. The ability to appear near rivers, lure people, or curse them is purely folkloric. The universal backstory. Different regions tell different variations. Some say she was betrayed by a lover. Others say she was punished by God. And some link her to Aztec deities like Civic. These contradictions show that the story is not historical, but symbolic. The fictional elements serve a purpose. They make the story memorable, teach lessons, help communities express fears and hopes through narrative. To understand La Llorona's place in American storytelling, it helps to distinguish myth from folklore. Myths are sacred narratives that explain origins, cosmology, or divine forces. They often involve gods or supernatural beings that are tied to religious or cultural worldviews. Folklore includes everyday stories, legends, ghost tales, jokes, and oral traditions passed down through communities. La Llorona sits somewhere between the two. She's not a deity, so she isn't a mythic figure in that strict of a sense. But her story carries moral weight and symbolic meaning, much like a myth. She warns children to stay away from dangerous waters, teaches lessons about grief and consequences, and reflects cultural anxieties about motherhood, loss, and migration. In the U.S., La Llorona functions as folklore, a story told in families, neighborhoods, and cultural spaces. But she also carries myth-like power, shaping identity and belonging for millions. La Llorona continues to evolve in American culture, She appears in films, literature, urban legends, and even political commentary. For many Mexican American families, she's a reminder of cultural roots. For others, she symbolizes an emotional weight of migration, the fear of losing one's child, one's home, one's place in the world. Her story shows that American identity is not defined only by national heroes or patriotic myths. It is also shaped by the stories across borders, whispered at bedtime and retold in new contexts. La Llorona is part of America because the people who tell her story are part of America. La Llorona may be a ghost story, but she reveals something very real. The way folklore helps communities make sense of who they are. Through her, we see that American identity is not singular. It's layered, multilingual, and shaped by stories of all who live here.